All right, so go ahead, pull up the chapter 5 test. We're going to work these together. They will count as part of your test score, but if you do them with me, you're going to get them right. And then you'll also have examples of what to do for the rest of the test. All right, for number 2, it is a rectangle, and you are asked to find the perimeter and the area. It says for questions 1 through 4, find the perimeter and the area. So for number 2, because it's a rectangle, I'm going to use the blue formulas. So for perimeter, it is 2L, and I'm just going to put parentheses here because I'm going to plug in what L is, plus 2W. Okay. Well, it tells me here that my length is 19 and my width is 6. And it does not matter which one you call length and width. Okay. You're going to get the exact same answer either way. 2 times 19 is 38, plus 2 times 6, which is 12. And 38 plus 12 is 50. And because it's yards, I'm going to label it yards. And then on number 2's line, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to plug in the perimeter is 50 yards. Now, as always, make sure you write the work down because to get credit, you have to show your work and do the and write your answer. So please make sure to show your work here. To do the area, we're going to use length times width. Right? Length times width, and we're going to plug in again 19 and 6. 19 and 6, because one is length and one is width. Doesn't matter which is which. And if I plug 19 times 6 into my calculator, I get area equals 114. And how am I going to label this one? Remember how to label area? Yes. Yards squared, because it's 12 yards times 6 yards. So for my area answer, it is 114 yards squared. Okay. I'll do one example of a triangle as well. And that way, all you have left to do is one of each on your own. So we have perimeter of a triangle. I'm going to use the purple equations now because I'm dealing with a triangle now. And for perimeter, I want side plus side plus side. So side plus side plus side. So 180 plus 180 plus 288. Those are the 3 sides of a triangle. And when I add up 180 plus 180 plus 288, I get 648. And how am I going to label this? Perfect. Feet. Love it. All right. So on number 4's perimeter, 648 feet. All right, now I want to find the area of a triangle, and I know my equation for area is 1/2 times the base times the height. Well, here's my right angle. That tells me this is my base. So 288 is my base. And for height, look and see what the tallest point of your triangle is and put a little line, and then see there should be a line running from the base to the height, and that happens to also be 108. Okay, so the height here is this dashed line. And just as a little side note, a little extra bonus hint here, on number 1, your base and your height are always the right angle legs. So this would be your base and this would be your height, just to give you a little extra hint for tomorrow. All right, so we plug this into my calculator. And I get A equals 15,552. How am I going to label this one? Yes, ma'am. Feet squared, because it's 288 times 108. And both of those have feet labels. All right. So my area for number 4 is 15,552 feet squared. Yes. Pardon? Well, so in my calculator, instead of 1/2, I punched in 0.5 times 288 times 108. Okay, are we good there? All right, I'm not going to work number 5 all the way to the answer, but I am going to help you set it up. So it says the perimeter of a rectangle is 312 inches. Its width is 74. Find the length. So I'm going to draw just a little, and you don't have to draw a picture if you don't want to. I'm a visual person, so I like to see it, but you don't have to. And they tell me that the perimeter equals 312. That's some given information. They also give me that the width is 74, and I have to find my own length. So I know the L is going to stand in place of length. Okay. Because it's perimeter of a rectangle, I'm going to use my perimeter of a rectangular formula, which is P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. And now I need to plug in what I know. Well, I know that the perimeter is 312, and that's the total capital P, right? So in place of the capital P, I can put 312. I don't know the length, plus 2 times, but I do know the width, right? They tell me right here that the width is 74. I will let you take it from here tomorrow, but this should get you pretty well set up. And then this is just a little hint of the way your answer for number 5 should look. Length equals something inches. Okay. All right, on this bottom section, it says solve each equation. Notice it doesn't say check, so unless you want to, you don't have to check them. Of course you can, but you don't have to. All right, so number 6, I don't have any distribution to do because I don't have any parentheses. That's always the first step. Combining like terms, looking here, there's nothing to combine, so my wall comes into play here. And I want to move all my H's to one side, and I want to move my numbers to the other. So if I subtract 2H and subtract 2H, I kind of hit a 1 behind that H because really it's there. It's just not there. And 1 minus 2 is negative 1H minus 9 equals negative 1. Okay, the 2H and the 2H go away on the right. And I'm going to write this over here just because I don't have enough room. All right, I still have my wall in play. And I need to get my number, my 9. I want to get it from the left side of the wall to the right side of the wall. It's a negative 9, so I'm going to add 9 and add 9. And that leaves me negative 1H equals negative 1 plus 9 is negative 8. Nope, positive 8. Sorry, I was already thinking ahead of my answer. And because I'm dividing by a negative 1, my answer is H equals negative 8. 8 divided by negative 1 is negative 8. So for number 6, H equals negative 8. Okay, I'm going to skip 7, leave that for you. I'm going to skip 8, leave that for you. It's very similar. No distribution needed. For number 9, I'm just going to get you started. I'm not going to work it. 2 times X is 2X, and 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Okay, that should get you going. On number 10, you've got 2 different places here you have to distribute. First here, so 3 times 2n is 6n, and 3 times positive 3 is positive 9. That's on the left. On the right, notice this negative 3 that's touching the parentheses. I need to distribute that negative 3. I'm going to leave the negative 9 alone for right now and just drop it down. Negative 3 times n is negative 3n. And negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. And then combine like terms if you can. Well, I've got a 9n and a negative 3n together on the same side of the equation. So that means I'm going to have 6n plus 9 equals, what's 9n minus 3n? I'm going to combine those two together. Be 6n plus 9. I'm going to subtract 6n and subtract 6n. I want to get all the n's over on the one side. What happens here? 6n minus 6n zeros out. 6n minus 6n zeros out. And I'm left with 9 equals 9. So what is my answer to number 10? Yes, all real numbers. Yeah. All real numbers, because 9 equals 9, your variable disappeared. It's a special case, but it's a true case. Yes. If you want to put the number, the hashtag for numbers, you can. All real numbers. Okay. All right, I'm not going to work number 11. I'm going to leave that one for you. Distribute, combine like terms, move all around the wall. All right, I'm going to jump down to number 12 here. It's a story problem, and we're supposed to look at the instructions. Write an equation and solve for the number. Okay, so write an equation and solve. It says twice a number minus 14 is 32. Well, I know that is means equals, right? And if I wanted twice a number, if I don't know what that number is, I could use 2n for twice a number. And minus is just minus. So this would look like twice a number minus 14 is 32. And now I'll leave you to solve it. Just a small hint on number 13. 3 times a number would be 3n is or is equal to 15 more than twice that same number. So this is part of it. You'll have to fill in all the rest of it, but that's part of it. And again, you write an equation and solve. Okay. All right, go ahead and flip over to the back. Couple of things here. Notice on the instructions, answer for questions 14 and 15, write an inequality for each sentence. You do not need to solve. Okay, so watch the instructions so you don't do more work than you need to. But we want to write an inequality. So our writing our inequality is going to be our answer. Shay made an $80 deposit, right? And if a deposit is $80 plus some, right? A deposit is plus $80. I put the plus on the wrong side. Sorry. If you deposit, you add $80 to something into her savings account, which now has a balance of at least $600. Well, she had some amount of money in there. We don't know how much. We'll call it M. She deposited $80. Now, if I put 600 on the other side, it says that her balance is at least 600. What sign am I going to put in there for at least? Yes. Yeah. Her money plus 80 has to be greater than or equal to the 600 because she has at least $600. Okay. Shauna's earnings at $12 per hour were less than $150. So I'm just going to tell you that per means multiplication, and I would use H for hours. That's all I'm going to tell you. For number 16, notice if you want to highlight this or circle it or something, but it just wants to know whether it is true or false. And so to know, you have to plug in the 6. Okay, plug in the 6 where there's an A. All right, graph each number on a number line. I'm not going to do any of those. I think you guys are good there. Actually, I'll do number 18 since it's super quick. On the 12, closed circle, and it's M's less than, so it's backwards. All right, for this bottom half, this is what we just finished doing. Okay, so I think we're good here. I will give you a couple of pointers. Here, you're going to multiply both sides by -4. And because you multiplied by a negative, flip your sign. I'll flip the sign first, and then I'll just kind of leave it like that. On number 23, I would -3 and -3. That'll get you started. Okay, these are just kind of little hints to get you moved, to get you going on the problem. And for number 24, you would distribute. All right, the very last one I want to do is examples 25A and 25, or 25A and 25C. 25A says, right, it's all X's and it's pointing backwards, so that's less than. So all X's less than, is it going to be less than or equal to? Less than 13. For number 25, hang on. For number 25, it's all X's. The number there is a -3. And it's pointing greater than, and is it going to be greater than or equal to? Or equal to, because of the closed circle. All right, go ahead and leave your tests on your desk. For those of you at home, go ahead and stop the video and then finish the rest of the test on your own and submit it through Cami when you are done. And email me if you have any questions, or just you should be in a video meeting while you're watching this. So you can do that as well. Just speak up in the meeting and I'll be able to help you.